Welcome back. Now, just before we get to Kapu's reaction, we touch quickly on the status of Shiites in Kaduna. Let's quickly talk about the status of Shiites in Kaduna. What is their current status as we speak today?
Shiites are citizens of Nigeria. They are entitled to practice their religion, and there is no problem.
But they have been protesting for the release of their leader.
No. I think you are confusing two things. Shiites are a religious sect of Islam, okay? Those protesting are not necessarily Shiites. They are members of El-Zakzaky's movement, okay? Some of El-Zakzaky's followers are Shiites, some are not. Okay?
But they're largely Shiites.
That's what they claim. But I want you and the audience to separate the two, okay? Because there are two other Shia organizations in Kaduna that don't protest, they don't block highways, they recognize the President of Nigeria, they recognize me as Governor of Kaduna State, they don't owe any allegiance to a foreign power, and they obey the laws of Kaduna State and Nigeria, and we don't have a problem with them. The one that we have a problem with is IMN, Islamic Movement in Nigeria, El-Zakzaky's movement, which we have outlawed because they do not recognize the Constitution of Nigeria, they do not recognize the President of Nigeria as sovereign, they do not recognize me as governor, their allegiance is to another country, and their objective is to turn Nigeria into an Islamic republic.
Do you think that outlawing them is the solution to the problem?
It is the only solution we see. Anyone that has another one should tell us if it is better.
Because some people have said that, we risk raising or turning them against the state or raising another Boko Haram sect.
They are already against the state. They have never recognized the state. Never did. They never recognized the Nigerian constitution. So those that are making those arguments are making academic arguments, and they should understand that before we took the action we took, we studied Boko Haram, we studied the Galtimari report, and we know the differences between Boko Haram, the evolution of Boko Haram, and this movement. I know this movement. I know El-Zakzaky. We were students in Ahmadu Bello University together. We were both active in the Muslim Student Society, so I know the animal I'm dealing with. Many of the people making comments on this don't even know the history. I was in Ahmadu Bello University when El-Zakzaky was dismissed. I know him.
But you went to him to ask for votes during the elections.
I did not. I went to him in 2014 when 3 of his children were killed to condole with him because I have known him from our university days before he was expelled. I did not go to ask for votes. It would be stupid to ask someone for votes when he doesn't register to vote, doesn't recognize the voting system, doesn't recognize the Constitution of Nigeria. Members of the IMN do not register to vote. They don't recognize our constitution. They don't recognize Nigeria as an entity. They want to turn this country into an Islamic republic. Okay? So it is ridiculous for anyone to say I went to El-Zakzaky to ask for votes. I visited him when his children were killed. 3 of his sons were killed in 2013 or something. I went to visit him to condole with him because I know the pain of losing children. I lost my daughter and I lost my son. I know the pain. And I went to condole him. I didn't go to ask for votes. I didn't go to El-Zakzaky since APC started. I did not visit him. I did not go to ask for votes because they don't vote. Why should I go and waste my time?
When you say I know the animal I'm dealing with, don't you think that's just denigrating?
It's not denigrating. It's a statement. It's an idiom. I don't mean that El-Zakzaky is an animal or anything. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, then maybe you need more lessons in English language. It's as simple as that.
I think it's proper for us to put it in context so that that is not misconstrued.
I know. I thank you for raising it, but it is an expression. It does not mean that anyone is an animal. It's just an English expression, and you know it.
Can we ask you to use another word?
I know the person I'm dealing with.
Thank you. Now, just you have seen your white paper immediately outlawed them. They are asking right now, the federal government is prosecuting El-Zakzaky. The courts have asked that he be granted bail, but the federal government has refused to obey those orders.
No, the federal government is not prosecuting El-Zakzaky. They have him in protective custody, they say. It was El-Zakzaky's lawyers that went to the Federal High Court to enforce his fundamental human rights, and the court ordered that he should be released. I understand the federal government has appealed against the order, but that's for the federal government to respond to. We are the ones, Kaduna State government will be the one prosecuting El-Zakzaky because the crimes were committed in Kaduna State and we intend to prosecute him.
When?
We are not quite ready yet. When we are, we will bring him to Kaduna and put him before a judge.
Do you think it is right to hold him for as long as you have? I mean, this government. Is it right to have held him?
I think you should ask the Attorney General of the Federation. I am not part of the decision to hold him or not hold him. Our job in Kaduna is to investigate what has happened in the last 33 years in which the El-Zakzaky movement terrorized people in Kaduna State, and we intend to bring charges against him and some of his key lieutenants. When we are ready, we'll ask the federal government to release him to us so that we put him before a judge in Kaduna. That's all I can. I can speak for Kaduna State government. I have no capacity to speak for the federal government.